Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is a non-PC gaming related unboxing, but it is tech based in that I am going to be unboxing an EOTech Holographic site. I'm very excited to bring you this unboxing because this is my first high-end optic. I've only ever used cheap made in China sites before. So let's get started with the unboxing of the EOTech. You have your manual, operating instructions, and the site itself. So the batteries are right here. And you also have a Weaver rail stop, as well as an Allen key for adjusting the mounting of the EOTech site. So I'm going to go ahead and put the batteries in. Okay, so this EOTech version is the most basic one, and it's powered by two AAA batteries. Obviously, you just saw that. There are some short EOTechs that are powered by lithium 123 batteries, but I like the AAA batteries because they're a lot easier to find, and you have your elevation and the windage dials. And let's go ahead and turn on the optic. There you go. Let me put the optic up to the camera. Okay, yeah, there you go. So there you see the hologram projected, and there is a version of the EOTech that also uses AAA batteries, but it has an integrated riser so that you could do a 1/3 coat witness with your iron sights, but I still like doing an absolute coat witness. A Colt LE6920, and it has a cheap optic on it, but it also has a gorgeous stainless steel heavy barrel. Of course, all of our AR-15s in Maryland have that heavy barrels. I am going to get a stainless brake to match the barrel, but I'm going to take my camera off so that you guys can look at the optic. There you go, there's the red dot projected, and you can change what type of dot you have, so I'm gonna change it real quick. You should be seeing a crosshair style dot now. There you go. And you can change it to green as well. So let's talk about the technological differences between a holographic sight and a red dot sight. If you play a lot of video games like Call of Duty and Battlefield 4, you would immediately know that the holographic reticle is one with a circle and a dot, but there's a lot more to it than that. On a holographic sight, you not only have an X and Y axis for your reticle, you also have a Z axis in that it is a laser projected 3D hologram that integrates with your field of view, versus with a red dot sight, you only have a light that displays a reticle that is its own field of view. So if you're using a red dot optic, it's just basically like a front sight post without having to look through the rear optic. Of course, it's also going to be a parallax-free front sight post. Parallax is a touchy concept to try and explain. A parallax-free optic is one in which no matter what head position you are on, so let me move the camera around. See, there you go. Moving the camera around, up and down. So no matter the position that you're looking at, the angle that you're looking at the optic will stay true to where it's pointed, versus just with a front sight without looking through the rear aperture. If I move the camera over here, so you know the front sight is not focused where it is right now versus where you're looking over here. Whereas if you remember with the EOTech, if I move the camera up, down, left, right, the reticle stays exactly in the same place. So that's what parallax-free imagery is. So a red dot sight is nothing more than just a parallax-free front sight post, in that you don't have to look through the rear aperture for it. That's what a rear aperture on a gun sight is for. So that's the tech difference between a red dot and an EOTech holographic sight. The top of the line makers of red dot sights would definitely be Aimpoint. I don't have an Aimpoint optic. That's the next optic I'm going to save up for. So what separates an Aimpoint from these cheap optics? If the Aimpoint does the exact same thing as these optics, but with these optics you can change around the reticles, and you can even change the color of the reticles on some models, and this one's even got a laser. Woo! Laser! Aimpoints are made with extreme reliability in mind. They're used by law enforcement and military agencies all over the world, and they're rated to deal with the recoil of high caliber rifles, whereas with this optic, I've had it shut off on me sometimes during intense fire, if it came down to it, I wouldn't put my life in the hands of these optics. I would use these optics for fun on a real rifle, to punch holes in paper and to derp around and have fun. But if it was a life or death situation, or if I was hunting with this gun, then I would still use iron sights as a more dependable alternative than these electronic optics. If you want an electronic optic that is dependable, you would go with an Aimpoint or an EOTech. And the dependability of these optics, Aimpoint or an EOTech, can be argued just as Eminem versus Lil Wayne can be argued, because there's pros and cons to each. EOTechs won't have the battery life of the Aimpoint. You could turn on an Aimpoint today and still have it be on 3 years later when you pull your gun out of its safe. But with an EOTech, you also have a holographic projected reticle versus just a different focal plane of an Aimpoint. And the 2 MOA dot of the Aimpoint, that's not really going to matter to a lot of people. But the EOTech does have only a 1 MOA dot. I hope you guys enjoyed this gun-related video. I know I'm not the absolute best when it comes to giving gun-related reviews because I'm new to firearms, but I will have a range report when I mount this optic on one of my AR-15s. I'm thinking of putting it on the Colt or my 7.62x39 AR-15 upper, which I will talk more about why you should get a... Wait, let me get my ammo real quick. So yeah, here's a bunch of 7.62x39. No, wait, this is 223 Remington. Sorry. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is the 7.62x39 ammo that is shot by the infamous AK-47, and look at that ass. Yeah, these are a lot fatter than the 5.56 bullets, but I will talk about the advantages of a 7.62x39 AR-15 upper. That might be the gun that I mount the EOTech to. I still have to think about it, but I really just like the iron sights on this Colt. Colt makes great guns. But I will try to make gun-related videos a lot more interesting. It's going to be a strong part of my channel now. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment on how I can make things a lot more interesting. I just dropped a lot of bullets, sorry. Leave a comment on how I can make these videos more interesting, and I will see you next video.